Every generation, Formula One witnesses the arrival of a driver whose rise feels less like a steady climb and more like a rocket launch. And only a few names have sparked as much intrigue and admiration as Kimi Antonelli. From his early days in racing go-karts to competing at the pinnacle of motorsports, Kimi's journey is one of passion and a relentless pursuit of speed. Today, we'll dive deep into the entire story of Andrea Kimi Antonelli, tracing his rise, his challenges, and his ultimate legacy in the world of Formula One. Born on August 25, 2006 in Bologna, Italy, growing up in a motorsport-oriented family where his father, Marco Antonelli, is a touring car and GT racer. Marco most recently competed in the 2025 GT Winter Series for AKM Motorsports. Kimi was introduced to racing at the young age of 5 years old, and it was the first taste of speed and adrenaline that would later define his life. His formal karting career began at 7, competing for his father's team, AKM Motorsport. Karting became more than a hobby for Kimi. It became a calling. Competing against other young drivers taught Kimi resilience, focus, and the art of strategy. Although the competitions were tough and the margins for error were razor thin, he thrived under pressure.
Felice del risultato?
Sì, sono felicissimo, sono riuscita a fare una bella partenza, ho preso il largo e ho vinto.
It was in those formative years that Kimi learned that racing was about mindset, preparation, and relentless determination. His early involvement in motorsports laid the foundation for his future success. His path took a decisive turn in 2014. After attending a summer camp with the Automobile Club d'Italia, Antonelli's raw ability caught the attention of Giovanni Minardi, the son of the legendary Giancarlo Minardi. Recognizing the spark of a future star, Giovanni wasted no time in bringing Antonelli under the guidance of Minardi management, setting the foundation for what would become an extraordinary journey in motorsport. In 2015, at just 9 years old, Antonelli won the Trofeo EasyCar Italia in the 60cc class, marking his first significant victory. He continued to excel in karting, securing multiple titles and gaining recognition in the motorsport community. By 2016, Kimi Antonelli was already making his presence felt on the bigger stages of karting. He entered several major competitions that year, consistently proving his skill with top 3 finishes in the Italian Cup and the prestigious Trofeo degli Industri. The following season, his momentum only grew stronger. In 2017, Antonelli showcased his talent at the WSK Supermaster Series, competing against some of the finest young drivers in Europe. That same year, he claimed victory in the 3rd round of the Italian Championship at Battipaglia, a defining moment that further underlined his rise as one of the biggest prospects in motorsports. Antonelli's rise in karting soon drew the attention of one of the biggest names in motorsport. In 2018, Mercedes recognized his potential and welcomed him into their prestigious junior team. That same year, he wasted no time proving why he had been chosen. Antonelli claimed victories in the WSK Champions Cup, the South Garda Winter Cup, and the Rock Cup International Final in the mini class, while also securing a runner-up finish in the Italian Championship. By 2019, his journey took another step forward as he graduated to the OK Junior category, the highest level of international karting for drivers under the age of 15. Competing with the Rosberg Racing Academy, Antonelli delivered a dominant season, winning the South Garda Winter Cup, the WSK Supermaster Series, the WSK Euro Series, the WSK Open Cup, and the WSK Final Cup. That same year, he made his debut on the global stage, entering both the European and World Championships. He finished as runner-up to Marcus Amand in Europe, while securing an impressive 5th place in the World Championship, firmly establishing himself among the very best young drivers in the world. Antonelli's transition from karting to single-seater racing was swift and successful. Just 3 weeks after celebrating his 15th birthday, Kimi Antonelli stepped into the world of junior Formula racing. He made his debut in the 5th round of the 2021 Italian Formula 4 Championship, driving for Prima at the Red Bull Ring. In his very first race, Antonelli impressed immediately, finishing as the highest-placed rookie and collecting 4 points across the weekend. The momentum carried into Mugello, where he once again added to his tally, but it was at Monza where his true breakthrough arrived. In the final round of the season, Antonelli fought wheel-to-wheel with champion-elect Oliver Bearman. ultimately finishing second in race 1. He followed that performance with 2 more podiums in races 2 and 3, marking a defining weekend in his young career. Despite missing much of the season, Antonelli still managed to finish 10th in the overall standings. In the Rookies Championship, he secured an impressive 4th place, collecting 4 victories in the category. It was a statement to the motorsport world that a new contender had arrived. The following year, he expanded his horizons, participating in the ADAC Formula 4 Championship and the Formula Regional European Championship. In 2023, he clinched the Formula Regional European Championship title, further solidifying his reputation as a rising star in motorsports. In 2024, Antonelli made his debut in the FIA Formula 2 Championship with Prima Racing. His performance was commendable, securing 2 race wins and finishing 6th in the championship standings. His rapid progression through the junior ranks and consistent performances led to his promotion to Formula 1. Both achievements and challenges have marked Antonelli's debut season in Formula 1. He made an immediate impact by becoming the youngest driver to lead a race and set the fastest lap during the 2025 Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Mercedes had first announced Antonelli's inclusion in their junior team back in April 2019, and by April 2024, he had taken the next step. Over 2 days at the Red Bull Ring, Antonelli completed his first official test with the team, driving the Mercedes W12. Additional private tests soon followed in the W13 at iconic venues such as Imola, Silverstone, Barcelona, and Spa-Francorchamps. With the FIA lowering the minimum age for a super license to 17, speculation grew that Antonelli might be called to replace Logan Sargent at Williams midway through the 2024 season. Mercedes quickly dismissed the rumors, instead recommending Mick Schumacher for the seat. But the whispers only highlighted how rapidly Antonelli's name was rising in the paddock. His first taste of official Formula 1 competition arrived at the Italian Grand Prix later that year. Driving George Russell's Mercedes W15 during the opening practice session, Antonelli stunned onlookers by setting the fastest lap of the session before an unfortunate spin at Curva Alboreto sent him into the barriers.
So much speed, and Antonelli spins into the gravel and into the wall.
The crash, measured at a brutal 52 G, sparked debate, but Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff quickly leapt to his defense, calling the experience a valuable step in the young driver's education. Motorsports journalist Mark Hughes even drew comparisons between Antonelli's raw debut and the legendary first performances of Tazio Nuvolari. Antonelli returned later that season for another practice run at the Mexico City Grand Prix. This time, his run ended prematurely after debris on the track caused floor damage to the car, leaving him classified 12th. Still, his promise was undeniable. At the postseason test in Abu Dhabi, he completed 62 laps alongside George Russell, finishing the day with the 5th fastest time overall. A 2-day test at Jerez in the Mercedes W11 soon followed, giving Antonelli yet another step toward his ultimate dream, a full-time seat in Formula 1. In 2025, a new chapter opened in the history of Mercedes and in the life of Kimi Antonelli. Signed on a 1-year contract, he was chosen to step into the seat vacated by Lewis Hamilton, partnering George Russell in what many called the boldest gamble in recent Formula 1 history. His debut came at the Australian Grand Prix, and it was one for the record books. Antonelli became the first Italian driver to compete in Formula 1 since Antonio Giovinazzi in 2021, the first rookie to drive for Mercedes since 1954, and at just 18 years and 203 days old, the 3rd youngest driver in the history of the sport. Despite qualifying only 16th due to floor damage, Antonelli delivered a breathtaking performance in the rain-soaked race. With fearless overtakes and a perfectly timed switch to intermediate tires, he surged through the field to finish 4th. The result made him the 2nd youngest point scorer in Formula 1 history and the highest placed debutant since 2014. In China, Antonelli continued to impress. He finished 7th in his first ever sprint race, then crossed the line 8th in the Grand Prix before both Ferrari drivers were disqualified, moving him up to 6th. Once again, he had battled adversity, sustaining floor damage from debris, yet still collecting vital points. Japan soon followed, and with it, another set of records. At 18 years and 224 days old, He led for 10 laps and clocked a fastest time of 1:30.965 on hard tires. He finished 6th in the race, one spot ahead of 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. His consistency placed him alongside legends, becoming only the 3rd driver in history to achieve 3 consecutive top 6 finishes from debut, joining Jackie Stewart in 1965 and Lewis Hamilton in 2007. In Bahrain, he underlined his pace once again, qualifying 4th before a grid penalty dropped him to 5th. A bold but costly 3-stop strategy left him outside the points in 11th place, yet the performance only added to his growing reputation as a fighter. In Saudi Arabia, he returned to form, finishing 6th despite the W16 showing heavy tire wear. Each race, each lap was proof that Kimi Antonelli was not simply a newcomer filling a vacant seat. He was carving his name into the sport's history, one performance at a time. The next chapter of Antonelli's debut season brought a mix of setbacks and triumphs. In Miami, he started the sprint race from pole position, a landmark moment so early in his career. But the wet conditions quickly turned against him. Contact with Oscar Piastri at the opening corner and a pit lane collision with Max Verstappen dropped him to 7th.
Is also in the pits. 10. Oh, there's contact in the pit lane between Verstappen and Antonelli, Ted. Yeah, this crash, that was always going to happen when Red Bull released.
In the Grand Prix, Antonelli qualified 3rd but finished 6th over an ill-timed virtual safety car reshuffled the order. The growing pains of Formula One continued at his home race in Emilia-Romagna. New suspension upgrades created instability at high speed, and after qualifying 13th, he was forced to retire with a throttle issue while running in 8th. Monaco brought no respite, as a collision with the barriers at the Nouvelle Chicane left him starting 15th.
Chicane. Nice, he's clipped that inside barrier.
Yeah, popped the tyre, hasn't he?
And a risky alternate strategy consigned him to last among the finishers. In Spain, another mechanical problem ended his race early, this time with an oil pressure loss while he was holding 7th place. Canada, however, finally delivered redemption. In front of a roaring Montreal crowd, Antonelli produced one of the best drives in his young career. Holding off championship leader Oscar Piastri, he crossed the line in 3rd, securing his first Formula One podium. At just 18 years old, he became the 3rd youngest podium finisher in the history of the sport, as teammate George Russell sealed the victory. The roller coaster continued in Austria, where a braking error on the opening lap sent him into Max Verstappen, ending both of their races. A grid penalty carried into the British Grand Prix, where Antonelli's bad luck persisted as he was rear-ended by Isaac Hadjar and retired with diffuser damage. Belgium provided little respite, with a 17th place finish in the sprint and 18th in qualifying, though he recovered to 16th in the Grand Prix after starting from the pit lane. Mercedes attempted to restore his confidence in Hungary by reverting to the old rear suspension. The change delivered some stability, allowing Antonelli to climb from 15th to 10th and collect points once again. At Zandvoort, he charged from 11th to 6th before penalties for a collision with Charles Leclerc and for speeding in the pit lane dropped him back to 16th. His first Italian Grand Prix as a Formula One driver carried immense pressure. He qualified just 0.043 seconds behind Russell in 7th, but a slow start pushed him down the order. Though he recovered to 8th, a penalty for forcing Alexander Albon off track relegated him further. Through 16 appearances, Antonelli had yet to finish ahead of his teammate George Russell. But in every setback, in every challenge, the world could see the raw determination of a teenager carrying the weight of expectation on his shoulders, learning the brutal reality of Formula One at its highest level. Beyond his racing career, Antonelli is recognized for his commitment to personal growth and his interests outside of motorsports. Away from the racetrack, Kimi Antonelli has carried with him symbols of inspiration and heritage. For his Formula One career, he chose the number 12, a tribute to his childhood idol Ayrton Senna. It was the same number he had worn proudly through his championship-winning seasons in junior Formula racing, a constant reminder of the legacy he aims to follow. Remarkably, just 6 weeks before making his Formula One debut, Antonelli was still living the life of a teenager. He had only just passed his driving test, and while competing at the highest level of motorsports, he continued to study online to complete his maturita during the first half of his rookie season. Mercedes presented him with a GT63S, but under Italian law, the car remains off limits for 3 years. Its immense power-to-weight ratio far exceeds the limits for new drivers. His helmet, painted in the traditional Savoy blue, is accented by the green, white, and red of the Italian flag, a design that reflects both his national pride and his growing place in the country's racing history. Away from the cockpit, Antonelli's life has remained closely tied to the racing world. Since 2023, he's been in a relationship with Czech kart racer Eliska Babikova, the sister of W Series driver Teresa Babikova and a champion in her own right. Together, they share the same roots in karting that shaped his own career. Beyond racing, Antonelli has never forgotten his hometown. He proudly supports Bologna FC 1909 on the football pitch and Virtus Bologna on the basketball court. Both clubs, like Antonelli himself, embody the spirit of the city he calls home.
When I was little, I used to play football.
Okay, what position?
Striker.
Okay, same.
As Antonelli continues his journey in Formula One, the motorsport world watches closely. His rapid ascent through the ranks and early successes suggest a promising future in the sport. With the support of Mercedes and his own determination, Antonelli aims to build on his achievements and establish himself as a leading figure in Formula One.